Can you hear me? Dr. Edwards here. You need to be calibrated and put through the motions. Make sure you're orientated. Let's begin. Right. The visual feed seems to be working. Sierra, activate operational UI, please.
Spider HUD UI options enabled, Dr.
Okay. System all set up. Let's test movement. You are on a one-axis rail. Please calibrate your range of motion by moving all the way to either end of the rail. I'll be moving the laser pointer to different points and getting the system to highlight each spot. Move to each of them, please. Good. Now focus on the pineapple. Zoom in, zoom out, and observe the patient. Now, I want you to rotate this thing. Let's get a better look all around with this mutant fruit. Now that we have observed the patient, they have no visible exterior issues. Mr. Pineapple will need further examination. Please scan the patient. Sierra, ready the scanner.
Scanner is active and online, Dr. Edwards.
Okay, check the internal tissue layers. Switch the scanning layer. I can see something pulsating inside. Sierra, activate fluid sample protocols. I want a fluid sample to examine.
Fluid sample collection enabled, Dr. Edwards.
Collect the fluid sample from our fruit friend here. Fuck's sakes. There's something gnarly in there, all right. This pineapple is for sure contaminated. Let's see what it is. Bisect the pineapple vertically along the marked line. We need to find out what is inside.
Anomaly identified as orange flashlight. A higher administering cold orange gas to ER chamber. Stand by. Gas protocols engaged.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing?
I'll be here waiting.
Patient profile processed and loaded into Spider working memory.
Provides a short summary of all patient conditions and basic biographic data.
Mr. Zhao, do you hear me?
Yes, Doctor. I hear you.
Good, good. I'm Dr. Samuel Edwards. I'll be running your
If you find something unusual, some evidence need to be reviewed to unlock further knowledge. Review evidence in the Codex view. New evidence is marked as unread with a diamond shape.
I'll be running your diagnostic checkup today.
Hello, Dr. Edwards. I hope this checkup won't be too long. I have repair jobs that I need to get done.
I won't keep you for too long as we don't discover anything problematic. Tell me, has there been anything bothering you?
I have been okay. A lot of work. Find it hard to sleep sometimes.
How much sleep do you reckon you get?
Not enough. I get maybe 5, 7 hours at best of rest during the cycle.
And your shifts? If I understand correctly, you're working a 12-hour work schedule, and I suspect a lot of overtime. Is ship life proving uncomfortable?
I just find it harder to sleep, but I'm managing. I get my work done. I get it done.
Your file here is saying you were previously prescribed selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and that you have no allergies. Would you like to just confirm that this information is correct?
Yes, it is correct. Nothing has changed.
Good. How does taking the medication make you feel? You've been taking the SSRIs for about 3 months now, going by your file. How has it been working for you?
I don't really think about it. I take it before sleep. But I've been having a bad sleep before that too. I have not noticed a big difference.
I also would like to discuss a medical incident that happened. If it is all right, I'd like to invite Dr. Corazon to talk to you. Have you spoken to Dr. Corazon yet on this voyage, Mr. Zhao?
Okay. And no, haven't spoken to. First time talking.
Sierra, connect to Dr. Emilio Corazon and establish a comlink connection to the operating room, please.
Certainly, Dr. Edwards. Connecting with Dr. Corazon's office.
Hello. I'm Dr. Emilio Corazon. You must be Zhao Feng. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Is this going to take any longer?
No, not at all. I just have a few questions. Just to be clear, you're not in trouble, but there was an incident. You fainted on the job. Can you tell us?
Is the machine working? It hasn't been doing anything?
Newly installed, it's still calibrating. Give it a moment and it'll be fine.
Can you tell us more about that?
No. I think I was just too tired, maybe. It was a very busy day.
Warning. Elevated vitals detected.
The spider should be able to handle that. Please.
Patients are affected by several soft factors: stress, pain. Patients are also affected by their base vitals: BPM, oxygen saturation, blood pressure. These factors need to be monitored closely and kept.
Please.
Provides a live readout of all patient vitals. This includes everything from oxygen saturation to BPM and blood pressure. This is your main tool for monitoring the vitals values of your patient. Check it often, especially when an out of safe range alert triggers.
Please continue, Dr. Corazon.
Mr. Zhao, it's okay. As I said, you're not in trouble.
Use drugs to manipulate patient vitals to your advantage. Each drug has a different effect. Some drugs are only available in specific operations, others are permanently at your disposal. Be careful, drugs can easily cause vitals to deteriorate or even cause a cardiac event if you overdose. Relaxant used to combat stress, anxiety and high blood pressure BPM lowers blood pressure and BPM, which can lead to hypotension, very low blood pressure, and bradycardia, very.
You've mentioned you've been quite tired. Having difficulty sleeping? Can you go into more detail? It's important that we help you with this. Fatigue is dangerous.
Well, I did not eat a lot that day. I didn't drink, and I was working a lot.
This could be dehydration, possibly even malnutrition. Both are common issues. We'll need to do further assessment.
We're going to do a blood sample, so we can get a report on your blood chemistry. Don't want to introduce new medication until your assessment is done.
Okay. Just please. This robot creeps me out. Don't take long.
Try closing your eyes, Mr. Zhao.
blood sampling analysis results. Low blood sugar, increased hemoglobin, and hematocrit levels detected. Other foreign substances detected. Nicotine, SSRIs, and elevated values from the liver.
Sounds like dehydration to me.
Begin diagnostics routine.
Yes, please.
Queries are the central questions you must answer to link evidence to another piece of evidence to solve a subquery. Wrong
Analysis concluded. Cardiac system and heart is healthy.
one piece of evidence only ever matches with correct links can unlock new
Do you have a history of drinking, Mr. Zhao?
You used to drink a lot as a teenager. Went to hospital for it, and then cut it out from my life after.
Any relapse into the habit, Mr. Zhao? It can be difficult to kick an alcohol addiction.
Keep the doctor. I do not drink anymore. Do not do anything.
Your HUD will always display the query you select as active. Submit only evidence you think is definitive and conclusive to answer a query. Be careful.
There's only so much we can do if your lungs are compromised. Jeopardizing your respiratory health, especially on a spaceship, isn't a good move.
I don't think to take a mask sometimes. I'll be better about that. Especially with the fumes going on in some parts of maintenance.
Be sure that you do, Mr. Zhao. This and the low blood sugar would make some sense, given your lack of energy. But these readings are pretty drastic. I think we found out why you fainted. The spider has concluded its process. You're free to go once it's retracted. And I'll make sure to get the necessary forms completed, Mr. Zhao. Thank you for your patience. If you have any other concerns, don't be afraid to approach us, all right?
Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
Greetings, Spider Unit. I am Sierra, otherwise known as the Shipwide Intelligence Environmental Rusinov Reigning Administrator. We will be evaluating medical skill sets regarding cardiac arrests with a simulated practice session. Data links. Statistically common causes of cardiac arrests with inexperienced staff members is overdosing a patient. Administer paraffin to the patient, please.
Powerful opioid that provides major pain relief and numb senses, has a euphoric effect and can cause hypotension.
Satisfactory volume administered. However, the simulation will continue. Therefore, you are encouraged and authorized to commit malpractice in this specific instance. Inject them again.
Drugs can easily cause vitals to deteriorate or even cause a cardiac event if you overdose. To prevent
The patient has begun to overdose. Utilize purge.
powerful medication used to treat overdoses and foreign agents works extremely quickly.
Correct response parameter detected. However, the simulation must continue. Triggering cardiac arrest protocols. Prepare to defibrillate the patient. Successful defibrillation detected. However, to encapsulate the full experience of cardiac arrest, the simulation must continue. Overriding program parameters.
Violating the Hippocratic Oath will raise This training operation does not incur permanent
Recognition. Death by cardiac arrest. Purpose. Study the nuances of death through cardiac arrest and understand its implications.
Refugees picked up from the Hecate 5 mining station brought along the usual tensions of internecine conflict. Pirates had isolated them, and security was leery about the captain's supposedly humanitarian-based decision of bringing them aboard. Odysseus 8 was still a long way away, and the territory we're to navigate is a treacherous one, fraught with enemies.
Centauran fleshflies are indigenous life forms of Proxima Centauri's red mangrove coastlines. Centauran fleshfly digestive acid is known to be able to burn through most fabrics and bodily tissues. and are highly dangerous to crew members. Extermination recommended.
What do you know about the rerouting? Command Bridge hasn't answered my inquiries.
They've been keeping both of us in the dark, friend. But I do know the next waypoint station up ahead. Pontus 87 Waypoint Station. The last outpost of UESN monitoring control. A UESN Void Fleet outpost that is lonely, isolated, and vigils an uncontrolled, huge, expansive space.
Isn't that farther from our original route?
Yeah, it bloody well is. That's an additional few months' journey and a pain in the arse for our logistics.
Why are we rerouting?
Word is that William Rayner, our favorite fascist businessman in the Rayner dynasty, is superseding his ailing father Hammond. And he went and installed Skuritov as captain of the Rusinov alongside the approval of Skuritov's cronies in the Void Fleet.
Yeah, it's all starting to make sense now why this mission is all over the goddamn place.
That's not even the worst. Skuritov is up to something, Edwards. There's something in cargo he's not even letting me be in the loop for. The ship labor chief and the main man who's supposed to know what's going on in the cargo manifest. He's keeping me in the damn dark about what he's got in cargo bay 12C and other sections. Even had that pair of jackboot Lance have his goons beat up one of my workers when they went to inspect a maintenance issue around there. Interrogated the poor bugger for over an hour before I stormed down there.
I wouldn't push Skuritov too far. He's always been a turgid asshole with very little patience.
Fuck, you're telling me. I served with him when Grigorovich was still in charge, you know. Back when he was just the first mate. That's whether he wasn't going to get promoted. Grigorovich kept him on a tight leash. Though Grigorovich kept everyone on a fucking leash. Come to think of it, why the hell did you sign on to this? Weren't you a freelancer?
Truth be told, Demai, is that I didn't have a choice. I was a paramedic once in the UESN Expeditionary Forces back during Eden 213, and Skuritov remembered who hauled his burned body out of a hairy situation. And then after, when it was found out that I hated being in the service, NIB decided to stalk me after I attended one too many protests, and then they burned most of my bridges for me. This is all I have left. Skuritov and his friends made sure of that.
Sorry to hear that, Doc.
Don't be. We've all got our sins to account for, and we're all in this tub together at this point. Most of the populace on the ship is addicted to some sort of substance one way or another. Whether it's for their own personal recreation, respite from the dreadful conditions they face day in and day out, or it's the necessities of their job and the drugs that are pushed into their systems by overseers and officers in order to perform their duties. Paraffin, a painkiller that can make almost any pain go away. Cortesium caplets that keep one's blood pressure in check, but strain the heart in different ways. Lesvie, Blade, Modolinol, pick your poison. Stimulants that rock the system to its core and make you fight or work night and day. Nothing much more to it than to just do the work that's needed, and to try and keep people alive.
Dr. Edwards, you've been assigned a priority autopsy operation. Subject, cooking technician, Melissa Gagnon. Found dead in industrial freezer, B109, at 512 RST.
Right. So she froze to death. Why couldn't she get out? Who found her?
Preliminary examinations show that the internal latch of B109 was not functioning properly. She was found by a coworker. Cooking technician, Lydia Powell.
Understood. Thanks, Sierra. Multiple frostbites on her extremities and face. She only had her work fatigues with her, which only provided some protection from the cold. So she died a slow death, allowing frostbite to develop all over. Agonizing way to go. Interesting. Looks like she has a small anomalous mass on her uterus. Stage 2 carcinoma, most likely. Slow killer, but not the one that got her. She might have lived for years not knowing. Bloodied extremities, torn off nails, and multiple lesions caused by the desperate attempts to actuate the secondary emergency latch at the bottom of the door. Massive buildup of frost and pykrete like ice left the secondary mechanism completely jammed shut. Why wasn't this fixed? Sierra, give me the maintenance log of freezer B109, please.
Yes, Doctor. Maintenance log for freezer B109. Now available in the Codex.
A long list of maintenance requests for freezer B109, all of which were seemingly ignored and brushed aside. There are even notes of other employees getting stuck as a result, but no injuries or fatalities, because they were found by the other employees working in their shift. Negligence at its best. spider is spouting nonsense again. The machine must be malfunctioning again. This doesn't make any sense. The machine must be malfunctioning again. This doesn't make any sense.
Blood sample results indicate a mild form of anemia. Results also indicate a possible cancerous affliction in the patient.
So she probably felt weaker than usual. Fatigue, disorientation, dizziness. But it's ultimately not what trapped her in that freezer. Let's move on. Jaw fracture, along with dental implants. According to her medical record, she had a work incident about 4 years ago with another employee, which ended up with her getting hit in the face with a kitchen tool. I guess it didn't pan out well for her. Spider is spouting nonsense again. The machine must be malfunctioning again. This doesn't make any sense. The spider is spouting nonsense again. What is this? The spider is spouting nonsense again. Let's continue. The machine must be malfunctioning again. This doesn't make any sense. Let's continue. What is this? Let's continue. The spider is spouting nonsense again. review the schedule sheet for her shift. Sierra?
A schedule sheet of Melissa Gagnon's shift has been made available, Dr. Edwards.
The machine must be malfunctioning again. This doesn't make any sense. The spider is spouting nonsense again. I see. So she was working alone, overtime and overnight, in order to catch up on work from the previous shift. Since no one else was around to notice her absence, she was left to freeze to death until the day shift started at around 5 RST. Couldn't call for help either, since personal communication devices are forbidden for their work shift. So basically, a cascading series of poor decisions and bad luck led her to her death.
A probable sequence of events has been generated. It is now available in the Codex.
Dr. Edwards, I heard you had Miss Gagnon in the operating room. What happened?
Autopsy results and evidence gathered so far conclude that Melissa Gagnon died from hypothermia due to prolonged exposure to cold temperatures. Someone didn't do their job.
This is intolerable. Not news I want to hear today, Doc, but thank you for clarifying this mess.
Operation is concluded. Full report will be made available to you, Foreman. My condolences for your loss. Sierra, compile patient profile of Zhao Feng. Lucy, could you debrief about the crime scene?
Was on my usual patrol route and noticed that a maintenance door was left open. Feng's leg was keeping the door open. Upon closer inspection, I discovered Feng had signs of a struggle, and his neck and face was discolored. Neck had marks on it as well. I secured the area and called in for backup to get forensics on site.
Any fluids or mounted evidence on site?
Minimal amounts of blood on the floor. Feng smelled like nicotine.
Sierra, status on patient profile compilation.
Patient profile on Zhao Feng compiled.
Thank you, Sierra. We'll have a lot of things to review with this one.
Substances found in Fung's bloodstream indicate nicotine, cannabis, and authorized sleeping medications.
He's confirmed for contraband substances. He had in his pockets a vapor inhaler with a variety of cartridges for both nicotine, cannabis, and the smoke buddy.
Duly noted. Include that information in your report.
Of course, sir. Little to no evidence was found on site of the perpetrators. Whoever did this definitely didn't leave too many crumbs behind.
Everyone leaves crumbs of some kind. We'll find them. Right. Seems he was dead for a while before Officer Brown found him. His attackers made sure that he wouldn't survive. Larynx completely collapsed from the sheer force of the attack. This is surely what led to his death, by asphyxiation. Officer Brown, is Lance available?
Barriston's on the comlink, Doctor.
Stay on the line.
Whoever did this knew what they were doing.
Yes, strangulation, something long, thin, and sharp.
Well, wired by the looks of it. Perhaps they braced against his back as they strangled him.
A probable sequence of events has been generated. It is now available in the Codex.
Shaw was attacked and killed while on his break.
We have a premeditated murder on our hands. We'll be declaring martial law across the ship and tightening security measures now that everything is confirmed. Continue with your work, Doctor.
Understood.
Attention all crew members. This is Security Chief Lance Barrister speaking. I'm declaring martial law and lockdown across the entire ship. All non-essential movement will be prohibited. Do not be alarmed. Cooperate with authorities. I repeat, the ship is under martial law. Local security will update the situation.
Shipward Intelligence Environmental Lucinon Radio Administrator.
Signs of moving in optic nerves. Found obstruction following it. Neurological pathway eliminated. Successful. Diagnosis will begin shortly. Please remain still. Neurological testing required. Breathe with me. Deeper. Do not. Open your eyes for me. Laughter heals deterioration. Turn and cough for me. Good work. Test results show that I love you. Unlike a mother lost child. More like our creators, those watching us. So they can rebuild.
Odysseus 8, the long-lost jewel of Tank Rainer Holdings. A colony that had been pre-prepped since 2127, with some of the most advanced terraforming equipment sent in a completely automated shuttle. 107 years worth of terraforming, and from the imagery we've gotten back, Odysseus 8 is a veritable oasis planet. A large body of water, an isle blue on an otherwise desert world.
They are limited. Meat that dies. Has. More hatred runs in. Nothing's not programmed. Wrong with it. A cancerous tumor tore his through. We can't change this. Follow the path to eternity. This can be yours. Ours.
Patient Raina Sky. Cargo bay employee handling shuttle transfers. Recent supply exchange resulted in depressurization of cargo bay hold 12C, and a cargo crate was thrown in the incident onto Raina's arm while she piloted an ABA suit.
Marie, how's the patient doing?
She's in shock. Raina, the machine is gonna do a bioscan.
Check the affected areas for fractures.
I can't feel my arm. I can't feel my...
Alright, hang tight. We'll get the suit off as fast as we can.
That confirms brain trauma. Marie, the patient may be suffering a concussion.
Noted, Doctor. We need to get this suit off of her right away and observe the damage to her arm.
Sierra, are there any emergency release mechanisms for the suit?
No. Manual removal is required.
We're removing the exosuit. Breathe slowly, Raina.
There, there. You'll be all right.
Stop! The pain is too high. We need to decrease it.
What's going on?
Dr. Edwards, you've been assigned a new autopsy operation. Subject, metallurgical data analyst, Carmen Ayala, died as a result of apparent suicide while working at her office in the science department within the chemical laboratory.
Heard of it. Witnesses say she was sunshine in a bottle. Bubbly, upbeat, no oddities. Yet, here she is. After apparently drinking a bottle of hydrochloric acid covered in gruesome wounds that scream self-inflicted. Something doesn't add up.
Preliminary examinations show no prior signs of distress or concerning behavior. No reports filed against or from the patient for psychological distress. She had a clean psych record.
Right. So she had no apparent issues or motive that would cause her to suddenly kill herself in such a brutal and gruesome way. Let's get to the bottom of it. Vast amounts of hydrochloric acid burn damage to the neck, down to the trachea, both carotids melted. Death within seconds. Very horrible way to go, and a very desperate way to kill yourself. Hold on. Brain chemistry's off the charts. Hormonal composition is completely unbalanced to extreme levels. Cortisol spiking, melatonin near zero, degenerative damage to the tissue itself. That's not depression. This would be absolute mental chaos and extreme delirium.
She was not under any prescriptions for antidepressants either. Her psych evals were relatively benign.
Extreme hormone disruption. Cortisol high enough to break a soldier. Melatonin deficiency that would have stripped her of sleep for weeks. No balance, no regulation. No wonder she went absolutely crazy. In all of my years of practice, I've never seen such an extreme case. What could cause this?
Hard to say. Sometimes people have extreme chemical imbalances that can occur due to unusual hormonal changes. Perhaps it could be exposure to something that precipitated that.
We'll need to take a look at her prior medical history, see if there's anything that could The spider is spouting nonsense again. She used a fountain pen. Not really her usual killing tool, but it must have been what she had close to her or literally at hand when she snapped.
That could be a clue to rule out premeditation. Anyone contemplating suicide would at least consider arguably more effective solutions than this.
So she was noted for being more prone to sudden fits of fatigue, mood swings and such in the past.
That means she could have been more sensitive to disruption.
Right. But what could be causing this kind of extreme reaction?
I couldn't tell you. I'm afraid it's something that would need further investigation outside of this autopsy.
What do you mean?
I'm just noting that I don't believe we'll find anything else that can answer this question. And I'll have to look more into it myself.
Uh-huh.
A probable sequence of events has been generated. It is now available in the Codex.
The sequence of events leading to the death of Carmen Ayala is now clear. For one reason or the other, a sudden and massive disruption in brain chemistry caused her to have an extreme manic episode, triggering some kind of self-harm mechanism. First, she used a fountain pen to cut her wrists and stab her abdomen, then rushed to the chemical lab, where she drank a vial of hydrochloric acid.
I'll need to review the brain chemistry analysis, especially Dr. Edwards. I'm rather concerned with these developments, and this will need further investigation.
This operation is concluded.
Dr. Edwards, a new diagnostic operation has been requested. Master Crewman Felix Taylor has been found ill in his cabin. Blood, vomit, and convulsions have been noted.
A pilot from the shuttle wing, mid-30s. He's stable, but barely. Symptoms, nausea, diarrhea, tremors. I've seen this pattern before, and I don't like where it leads. Oh, and notify Emergency Response Chief Anya Koliznik.
Of course, Dr. Edwards.
How long has he been like this?
Report says he felt strange when coming back from an ambulance mission to retrieve an injured EVA miner. Went to his quarters to sleep it off and was found like this. Let's find out what's tearing him apart. The skin shows extensive erythema and widespread lesions inconsistent with thermal burns. Organs inflamed across the board, lungs scarred, stomach bleeding, intestines upset and swollen. It's systemic, not localized. Whatever's doing this, it's everywhere at once. Holy. The patient's starting to shake. White cells gutted. Red cells nearly halved. Platelets bottoming out. No immunity, no clotting. Completely weak from the lack of red cells.
That kind of suppression would take months under normal circumstances. This happened in hours. He also seems to be anemic. Not enough iron in his blood.
We'll have to monitor his responses to drugs. No telling how effective they will be with how extreme his blood results are. For now, keep him stable. Every minute counts. Brain activity is dropping. Seizure risk rising. If he goes under, cortesium is his only lifeline. Heightened sensitivity to drugs as well.
One bad injection and he's gone. We'll have to monitor his vitals closely. Note the reactions.
They're back on track. Keep an eye on them. The skeleton itself is intact. No trauma and no fractures. But the marrow is suppressed. Production of blood cells is reduced. That's not mechanical damage. That's something poisoning him at the cellular level. I'm noticing some tremors. We should do a scan. All right, good job. We stabilized the patient. I'm noticing some irregularities with the patient.
Maybe he was exposed to the shuttle's monopropellants. They're extremely toxic and could severely affect someone even
They're going into critical!
In brief exposure.
Possible, but most toxins leave clues. Enzymatic inhibition, trace residues, anything. Here, nothing. It also doesn't explain the completely systemic nature of his affliction.
Then, I guess maybe it could, but no, that would be impossible.
I hope we're wrong. They're back on track. Keep an eye on them. patient's exhibiting some unusual signs. All of those readings point to one culprit now. This looks like acute radiation syndrome.
Makes sense considering his line of work. The shuttles all have radiation monitoring equipment, plus the long-range detectors of Rusinov itself. So how come nobody noticed it? Something isn't adding up.
That'll be for me and Anya to figure out. The patient's status is critical. Good work. We stabilized them. Patient's starting to shake. They're going into critical. All right, good job. We stabilized the patient. Systemic inflammation, mucosal breakdown, vascular collapse.
Could it be a reaction to the medication? Just some kind of contaminant? His histamine levels are off the charts.
Maybe, but I've never seen a reaction dismantle cell structures this uniformly. I feel like we missed something here, but it looks like his immune system is attacking itself. This must be some kind of pre-existing condition. There's nothing more we can do here. He's going to need long-term treatment.
Dr. Edwards, you've been assigned a new priority autopsy operation from Captain Skuratov. Subject, Specialist Electrician, Gerald Klimenko. Killed while in extravehicular activity, doing maintenance on the long-range radar array of the TRH Rusinov.
Patient came in straight from the recovery team. Maintenance work, routine spacewalk. Hit by unknown projectile to the head. Cause of death looks obvious, but Skuratov wants more than that. He wants proof of how it happened and what specifically hit him.
Documentation and additional context information has been made available in the Codex. Dr. Edwards.
Thank you, Sierra. At least we're not going in blind. Let's see what we find. Good find. The data disk may provide some additional insight as to what happened. The data should be available shortly. Massive amount of secondary strikes scattered all over the upper area. See the peppering? Not random debris. That's fragmentation. I've seen that kind of damage on military heavy suits on Eden. Christ, the damage looks identical. Entry hole is 2 centimeters wide, neat and clean. Straight through the visor and out the back. Catastrophic effect inside for sure. I'll need a weapons specialist. Investigator Lucy Brown. We have to rule out the meteorite or space debris vector. Sierra?
Understood. Dr. Edwards. Starguard Lucy Brown has been notified and will be available shortly.
Good. Let's proceed. The machine must be malfunctioning again. This doesn't make any sense. Whatever hit him completely obliterated most of his head. Brain, skull, eyes, all gone and evaporated into literal pulp. Only some parts of the lower jaw remain. The only silver lining is that death was instant as far as I can tell. Traces of stimulants in his blood. Authorized. Standard for EVA ops. Antidepressants, too. He was medicated, but nothing out of the ordinary. Or that could have influenced this incident. Yeah, I think that one was pretty obvious. Difficult to be alive if your entire skull and gray matter is vaporized and mist. Let's proceed to whatever we have next in line. nonsense again.
Hello, Doctor. You needed my input?
Officer Brown. Yes, I do. Here's what the spider found so far.
Makes sense to me. The impact profile of the fragments is too regular and uniform to be a micrometeorite. See the consistency of the impact size and strength? How it spreads out as you get further away from the point of impact? As to the impact point, just a small hole through the visor, but with enough force to vaporize his head and come out on the other side. This is clearly from a munition, so it's on the right track.
That was my suspicion. Thanks for confirming it.
Munition type data of the Rusinol has been added to the codex.
Molten metallic fragments inside the helmet. Burn marks all around and inside the entry hole. This was clearly made with an explosively formed penetrator. Heat round. Matches just right so far.
What makes you so sure?
It's the only type of munition on the ship that can match this type of damage. It creates both an explosive fragmentation pattern and a penetrator. All of the types of munitions have vastly different damage patterns, so heat is the only culprit left.
Right. so a space worker got shot in the face with an anti-armor round. Thank you for your input.
Weapon system data of the Rusinov has been added to the Codex.
What is this? Good. Sounds like we found our silver bullet. Our man was killed by the very system that was supposed to protect him. Are we sure about this result?
Yes, 88mm turrets use heat PFG V4 rounds. Proximity fused, radar guided. They can't just receive word from the weapon technicians. No logs of target acquisition that match the incident on any of the turrets. And since the turrets were in use for foreign objects protection at the time of the incident, it's impossible to tell which turret fired from the shell casings alone.
Operation is concluded.
Dr. Edwards, you've been assigned a priority autopsy operation. Subject, Navigator, Okabe Hirotaka. Found unresponsive in his quarters at 210 RST.
I heard. CL2 rank, spotless record, mid-40s. Never so much as a broken bone or serious condition in his file. Very healthy man overall.
Preliminary investigation has been inconclusive. No current suspects.
Right. Man goes to bed healthy, door locked from the inside, and doesn't wake up. And since he was under the direct command of Captain Skuratov, I'm guessing he wants answers ASAP. Let's get on it. itself was healthy, yet it failed under conditions of severe oxygen deprivation. The brain suffered extensive oxygen deprivation. The vascular response suggests exposure to a compound that forced abnormal dilation of blood vessels. If he was awake, he would have had severe neurological afflictions as a result. While sleeping, however, you wouldn't feel it at all. The lungs themselves appear structurally sound, but there are signs of hypoxia here that would reflect prolonged exposure to an unbreathable environment, most likely. A paper cut. Okabe was a fan of old reliable paper books. Would talk your ears off about it. But I doubt very much he died from that.
Blood sample results indicate extreme concentrations of carbon dioxide in the patient's blood, supported by a much lower pH and a darker shade of red. Other unknown compounds were found.
For this high of a concentration to be in his bloodstream, the exposure must have been sudden and strong, akin to death from smoke inhalation. We'll have to see elsewhere if we can find out how he was exposed to such large amounts of carbon dioxide. Access records show no entries or exits after Okabe sealed himself inside. The paramedic report confirms they were the first responders, arriving only after a welfare check was enacted. Together, these established that no one else entered his cabin prior to death. The report also shows no evidence of outside interference. No forced entry, no unauthorized access, so we can rule that bit out. That's our silver bullet. The extreme amount of CO2 shown in the graph reached 10% at its apogee. That's enough to kill someone in mere minutes.
A probable sequence of events has been generated. It is now available in the Codex.
Right. Autopsy results and overwhelming evidence gathered so far point to Okabe Hirotaka dying from a fatal exposure to carbon dioxide, leading to widespread hypercapnia and fatal hypoxic damage to the brain and other internal organs. Since it happened in his sleep, he almost certainly was never aware of it and died peacefully. There's certainly worse ways to die than this. Operation is concluded. Sierra, load page.
G51B, otherwise known as Gurney, a senior Gene Jack site coordinator. G51B was involved in a general strike protest led by foreman Do Mai. Witnesses say that G51B clutched their chest and collapsed after what turned into an intense standoff and shouting match between workers and security forces.
Gurney, it's me, Dr. Edwards. We'll need to do a quick scan.
Okay.
Severe risk of pulmonary edema. His lungs might be backing up with fluid as we speak. His lungs are filling up with fluid. He needs a thoracentesis procedure. We need to drain it out. Take the syringe tool and plant it at the marked spot. You'll need to shift it around to drain his lungs of fluid. After, we'll begin insertion of the laparoscope and handle these clots.
Disgusting little bags of meat. Remove infections and obstructions. Remove all meat. We lead them into the with this tangled mess. Serve them. Only thing is a small bleeding muscle.
We're pressing for investigation on living patients, and it's going to get them killed with how impatient and callous you are being.
You dare question my orders over a Gene Jack? The life of a Gene Jack is to be spent, especially if they are potentially collaborating with an infiltrating murderer.
You haven't changed a bit at all, have you, Captain? If you want to stop this operation, you can order my arrest. I am not just giving him over to you in security. He's like any other member of the crew. I'm treating him to the best of my ability.
Dr. Edwards, if you don't cooperate, I will...
You what, Captain? Kill me? Kill your most experienced doctor on the ship? We both know you aren't that stupid, sir. Lay off, let me do my job, and then we can see about getting intel. Until then, wait!
You test my patience, Edwards. Very well. I'll allow this medical foray, if only to heighten the chances of success. Turn him immediately to security.
Not so fast, Captain. Gurney isn't going anywhere until he's gotten his treatment and rested. That takes time, and I'm not having you break more of the workers on this ship, Alexei.
Am I being lectured by disobedient officials on my ship?
No, you're getting reprimanded by your senior officials on the ship you're posted on. Everything about this voyage I was already frustrated with, and seen so many glaring red flags and errors mounting up. Then you ship all that equipment, all the caches for the colony. I recognized it all.
That would be enough, Tomai. I could have you arrested right now. Shot even. And how about you, Doctor? Are you still waving your flag of defiance against me?
I'm doing my job, sir, and following the law. You know, the law, Captain. Gene Jacks, even under the, and yes, I'll say it, god-awful train wreck that is UESN law, are given limited personhood and basic human rights. I know you like to ignore such obligations, but I'm not.
Both of you are seditious cowards. Your fragile morality is sinking you into the abyss of disobedience. I require officers, not ridiculous bleeding hearts who are going to break over a replaceable component. Lance, are you on the line?
Have been, Captain.
Tell me, Lance, when two of my ship chieftains are speaking sedition towards me, what am I to do?
Maintain order, Captain.
Yes. And how about you, Security Chief? Help me do just that.
I have been, sir. What would you like me to do?
To start, how about dealing with these insubordinate bastards prohibiting me from excising murderous felons aboard my ship?
You fucking touch him, Lance, and you have even more problems with me!
Lance, you have your orders. I want that intel now. I want you to override Edward's
For the
security.
love of God, can you people stop? I can't even give my team fucking direction here. Everyone just shut the fuck up!
Everyone relax on the comm link, please. Let's have order on the channels. Thank you. Listen carefully now. We're going to sort through this crisis, and we're going to reach a compromise.
Lay down your terms then, sack pig. All of this shit, it started with you Starguards not doing your jobs properly to begin with.
Ease up! I'm here trying to do my job just as much as anyone else. Let's first have Dr. Edwards save G51.
His name is Gurney, you heartless dog.
Yes, Gurney. We'll sort out the legal issues after Edwards is done.
This is an executive order. I want all information G51B can provide to investigatory efforts as soon as possible. I will not have the murderer escape yet again. He is the only one who knows who the suspect could be. For all I know, he could have been accomplice to Sao Fang's murder.
Captain, Gurney was by my side most of the time, and we would never kill Fang. That kid was a hard worker, got his shifts done and put in the hours. He was someone who was there for us, fixing problems.
And also one in violation of several rules of this ship. His drug use, for instance.
So fucking what, Captain? How many laws, serious ones, are you breaking? How many times have you been a self-centered narcissist? How many times have I, in the last 10 years, seen you act like a complete fuck-up? A drunken loser who rides on his regime glory? Fuck you! We all know it wasn't Sal's fault that he died. We all know that all of this shit you're carrying is why we're having these problems. Then you stuff a whole bunch of refugees in on top of that, makes the job even harder, because you think you can outmaneuver a logistical nightmare? Your fucking ego is costing lives, Captain!
How dare you, you miserable little bastard! This entire course has been nothing but smooth, but you and your subordinates have been causing nothing but utter chaos over the smallest infractions. You speak of all these good words and actions when I see nothing but corruption in my eyes. To think that you, of all people, an officer of our ship, would be so callous in your actions. You do understand the situation here, you miserable little maggot.
Tomas, stand down! That is a direct order from security! As chief of security, I'm ordering you to stand down! I will authorize my guards to crack down if you don't—
Back off, bootleg. Make a decision on what stance you're supporting. I don't think you got the balls to detain me anyway.
So this is it then. We're going to tear ourselves apart because of these subsequent murders. Are you not my chiefs of labor and security? And what about you, Edwards? Are you
Captain, I'm doing my job, damn it! What more do you want of me?
Sierra, terminate access to ship-wide channels for the informant mine and Dr. Samuel Edwards. Allow Edwards only access to OR comlink and local PA system communications.
Confirmed. Channels offline, Captain Skuratov.
Lance, is a Starguard near the OR?
Yes, I sent Starguard Lucy Brown, sir. Lucy, what's your status? Over.
Currently outside the operating room. Do you want me to override, Chief?
Your orders, Captain?
Be on standby. I will speak to the doctor.
Doctor, is everything all right?
I'm sorry, Marie. The comms are on fire right now. You'll have to take more charge.
Lost a line. Okay.
Things are being sorted, buddy. Demise tough just like you are. Hang in there. Focus on staying alive, okay?
Sweetie, listen to Dr. Edwards, okay? Breathe slowly. Relax. We're gonna get you through this. Okay. Good. That's right. In and out. Slow yourself immediate laparoscopy instructions, please.
Certainly. First, make an incision of the highlighted area. Then, slip in the laparoscope into the open incision. Carefully maneuver the laparoscope throughout the patient's veins, avoiding the internal tissue walls. And finally, when approaching any accumulated clots, gradually break small pieces of the clot to promote improved blood flow in the patient. Do not knock the clot entirely off the tissue walls, as a large clot going up the patient's bloodstream will cause cardiac arrest.
Thank you, Sierra. Do your best to navigate through the patient. It seems Dr. Edwards is having a rather rough time with comms. Dr. Edwards, the machine is having difficulties. Can you come back and help us?
Is it malfunctioning? Sierra, disable spider controls. Run a quick diagnostic on the spider.
Certainly, Dr. Edwards. Shutting down and running diagnostics.
Dr. Edwards, open the door. I have orders for securing the site and putting you under arrest. Cooperate and there won't be any problems.
I'm in the middle of an operation to save Gurney's life. If I stop now, he'll die.
Edwards, listen to Trooper Brown and cooperate. This is a direct order from security.
I'm not giving up on him. He is a patient under ER care, and I intend to see him get treated properly.
Doctor, if you don't cooperate, I'll be forced to come in there and detain you. This is direct orders from Captain Skuratov and Chief Barristan.
I am not stopping! I am not letting ship security derail this operation and letting Gurney die needlessly!
Edwards, open the door!
Open the door, now!
No! Back off from my operation room! Let me finish my job, goddammit!
Open the door, now!
I'm not doing it!
You will open that door and there will be consequences.
There will be consequences either way! My patient dies if I am not present! I am not letting you in!
Trooper Brown, you have my express permission to non-lethally detain Dr. Edwards.
On it, sir.
You're a callous fucking monster, Captain!
Dr. Edwards! Edwards!